All right. Now, I want to deal with all of the fights. Well, not all of them. I'm not going to deal with all of them. But I'm going to deal with several fights that took place yesterday or this weekend, as well as last weekend. Okay? Been a while since I've been on here dealing with things. I've been very busy. Now, here recently, during my hiatus, during this time I've been keeping up with the new fighters that's been getting signed and the fights that have been made. And there is this one upcoming fight that I've forgotten about. Hopefully I'll remember towards the end of this live stream. But it's a fight between two unranked fighters. They may be relatively unknown, and both of them are on stoppage streaks. I know that's how that always raises my antenna as far as a potential fighter who will make it up through the ranks, who will be successful as a fighter. But these two both are on a stoppage streak, and I totally forgot who these two fighters are. See, I don't think it's these two. No, it's not these two. I don't even think, they're not European fighters. I think they're Brazilians. But I want to deal with the fight between Stamp Fairtex and Zoe Ham. Now, I gave Zoe Ham the advantage. I picked Zoe Ham to win that fight. So I got that wrong. I know I didn't make an official prediction, but I'm not going to lie about who I picked or who I took. Yeah, I took Zoe Ham. Everybody who followed the channel, who followed the old channel, know I rank Zoe Ham. I've always ranked Zoe Ham. And, she had the experience advantage. Yeah, I took Zoe Ham for the fight. But that said, I knew Stamp could mess Zoe Ham up. Stamp stopping these fighters. Stamp a show closer. Okay? She hitting these girls once and hurting them. And remember, this wasn't the first time that Stamp hurt somebody to the body. She hurt multiple fighters. She hurt Angela Lee to the body. Wasn't that Stamp? That was Stamp who hurt her to the body. Stamp's body attack. What's wrong with these girls? They haven't picked up on that yet. You fight Stamp, protect your body. She throw hard shots. Like, no matter what she's throwing. Here you go. That body shot, see, I didn't see it right there. Let me see if I can find it. Body shot hurt Zoe Ham. And yeah, that was it. Well, Stamp is on fire, man. As far as promotion or promoting yourself as a fighter, Stamp has it down pat. She's got it locked. Even if she don't speak English, she has a formula to draw you in and be her fan. And that's all that dancing she does. Not only all that dancing, that's not the only thing that attracts people. It's because also how angry she acts when she fights. I've been saying that for a while. It's a huge, huge contrast from the giddy, girly entrance that she has. She uses that the same way Roxanne Modifier used that nerdiness of hers. It throws her opponents off. They get hypnotized. Here goes Stamp Fairtex dancing again on her way to the cage. Okay, she gets to dancing and she looks goofy, doing these goofy dances, and it lulls her opponents to sleep. And when she gets into the cage, she starts spazzing out on them. That's what it is. Now, it's just me personally. I think that gives her an advantage in there. Her entrances gives her an advantage because she fights with so much tenacity. Like, you know, like her opponent stole her boyfriend. So yeah, classic fight. Stamp is on fire. If Stamp was to come to UFC, that would be a favor to the UFC, to be honest with you. Because there really ain't there's no standout fighter like Stamp in anywhere else. Not in one. Well, here on social media, she almost got 1 million followers on Instagram. She's almost at 1 million, if she's not over 1 million already. There's no reason for her to come to the UFC. Now, she fights at the atomweight division, but that's 115. So if she were to come to UFC, she'd fight at 115. And I believe she'd be a player at 115. But why would she do that? I don't even think that's, I've seen some of the comments of people saying she should go to UFC, but I don't think so. Because listen, me personally, I enjoy the 1FC's Muay Thai matches. That's one big advantage they got over the UFC. I don't cover them here on this channel because people don't want to hear about them. I make videos about, stuff like that. Nobody want to listen to that. But I watch those fights where they be inside the cage and there's no wrestling. It's the perfect type of combat. And that gives one a huge advantage over the UFC. Simple as that. Give them a huge advantage over the UFC. Now, it would be interesting to see Stamp Fairtex square off against Weili Zhang. Listen, I get it. I'm right there with you. That would be a dream come true matchup. But these organizations are like criminals. They're mafia type people. They're not business type people. If they were, then they would have special matchups like that. Where, hey, we about to match our champions against each other. Let's see who has the more dominant champion. And then immediately, matches between champions from different organizations would get matched up. If they were smart and they looked out for the interest of the fans, they do that, but they don't. Right? So that will forever be a fantasy matchup. There was a few fights in the PFL. I checked those out, but I'm not even going to deal with those fights. I'm going to deal with the ones that's more fresh in people's memory, and that's these. Now, one of these fights got scrapped, right? One of them got scrapped, and man, it was a crazy assortment of fights. Now, man, was it these two? No, it wasn't these two. It wasn't these two. And I think they might be featherweights. I'll get back to y'all with that one. But yeah, a whole lot of fights. And I want to start with Sarah McMahon. Sarah McMahon got decimated. She got blown out. And that's exactly what I said was going to happen to her. What happened, that's exactly what I said is going to happen to her. When she moved to the featherweight, I got on here and I was critical of that decision. I'm like, because Sarah she really ain't got no hands. All she got is her physical strength along with her wrestling. At bantamweight, it wasn't just her wrestling skills that gave her an advantage. It was also her physical strength. That was obvious. The way she was tossing the bantamweights around. And I'm like, okay, now you want to move up to 145. You think you can just do that? And you look at Sarah's body at 135. When she go into the cage, she's still ripped. So if she were to fight at 145, I knew she's not going to be in her. There's going to be weight bullies at 145. I knew she was going to run into a chick like this. Some big, gigantic girl who's naturally much bigger. All right? Where's that face off? Look at this. That is what I was talking about. That's what I was critical of right there. Look at how much taller this girl is than Sarah McMahon. So this big girl, Leah McCourt, is actually probably draining herself to make 145. Whereas Sarah, she should be just walking around at 145. She definitely can't be draining herself to make 145. So why would you give up really the only advantage you had? The only real advantage Sarah had was her strength combined with her wrestling skills. Because as you saw in this fight, Sarah got her hands on her. She could not overpower her. That made all the difference in the world. Sarah lost this fight because she could not overpower this big, giant woman. Now look, maybe Sarah knew. I'm pretty sure she knew that she'd run into size discrepancies. Maybe she thought that because she has adapted to fighting UFC caliber fighters, that it would make up for the weight difference. Like, hey, these are Bellator fighters. I've been fighting UFC fighters. Go over here, won't, that'll offset it. No. So Sarah tried to put her wrestling on this big giant woman, and it just didn't work. She muscled her way out of everything McMahon tried to do, got her down, just pounded her out, and stopped her. Sarah McMahon just got destroyed, just like she destroyed her previous opponent in her most recent fight. So we'll see what's next for Sarah. And this Leah McCourt is Chris Cyborg's next opponent. How about that? That's Chris's next. Now, I think Chris is going to beat her up too. Because remember, Leah McCourt lost to Kat Zingano. Leah McCourt, she lost to Kat Zingano and somebody else. Who else did she lose to? I mean, she's a big fighter. She's very tall, 5'10". But she's not really elite. She lost to Kat, and she lost to Sinead Kavanaugh. Now, didn't Chris beat Kavanaugh like twice? Yeah, she got knocked out. She got knocked out by Chris Cyborg in the very first round. And I guess she only fought her once. But Leah McCourt lost the decision to Kavanaugh and lost the decision to Kat Zingano. But Kat Zingano looked like she was about to die in there. You were watching that fight, looking at your watch, counting backwards, just waiting to see how long it's going to take for Chris to just obliterate her the way that she did. So yeah, that was kind of ugly. But listen, man, I enjoyed the fights. I enjoyed most of them. There was a couple stinkers, but for the most part, I enjoyed them. Now, was this the fight? Was this that fight that ended in the first round? I think it was. That was a crazy fight, man. Was this that one that ended in first round armbar? Yeah. That was a crazy fight. I don't know what that was, bantamweight. That was 145. No, that wasn't it. Yeah, they just fought last night. That was a decision. Okay, I didn't see this fight. I don't think I watched this fight. No, I didn't watch this fight. What was that fight that ended first round armbar? They were going at it, man. As soon as the fight started, they was going at it. And that's what I was asking for. Remember, I was talking about tenacity. That's the main thing that's going to evolve, or at least make people respect the women. It's not about how raggedy your punches are. Now look, we're men. We're gonna make fun of how funny you look throwing punches. Women, that's just, men, we're goofy. We're always gonna look for a reason to laugh. But we're still satisfied with the performance as long as you got good tenacity. And most of the fights had real good tenacity, at least in my opinion. Okay, where are we going? Horrible fight with Ilima-Lei Macfarlane. Let me go and deal with that. And I think both Ilima-Lei Macfarlane and Liz Carmouche need to be blackballed. Blackballed from WMMA. Y'all deserve all the worst criticism that fans could possibly muster. Going in there, putting on that stinking, worthless performance. Now, here's the thing about that fight. Ilima-Lei Macfarlane against Liz Carmouche. If you didn't know the fighters and you watched the fight, you would say, man, that was a weird fight. Right? You'd be like, man, that was weird. Like, man, this is a horrible fight. However, if someone told you, hey, they're friends, it would all make sense. If somebody were then to tell you that they are friends, you'd be like, oh, okay, now it makes sense. Now it's not so weird. And that's horrible. Here's the fight right here. These two right here. And I think, this is the fight that I was talking about. This was, I think this was the fight. This was highly anticipated for me, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think this was the fight. This was the fight I was talking about. I don't know how, but my brain is going bad. I'm overworked right now. That's one of the reasons I haven't been on this channel, because I'm overworked at my 9 to 5. I'm working a whole lot more than 9 to 5. I ain't working me 10 to 12 hours. I'm losing my mind over here. But no. Now, who'd she fight? Who was her? Okay, let's go back here. She just stopped Joanne. Now, I know this is the fight that I was talking about. No, this is not the fight that I was talking about. Okay, it's a different fight. Okay, I knew something was wrong with that. These are two undefeated fighters, both on a stoppage streak. Okay, but this was a good fight. I thought this was a good fight. They came out, the tenacity was right there. They came out, they was going at it, teeing off on each other. Yeah, a few raggedy punches here and there, but they was going at it. And you see her here, she beating all on her. Somebody was going to get stopped in this fight. That's how they were fighting. They fought with the tenacity where he's like, okay, this is not going to go to the decision. Right? Very violent. Now, at first, I thought the girl that lost had the advantage. She seemed to have an advantage in tenacity. But she ended up getting stopped by Jenna Bishop. Okay? That was, I appreciated that fight. Okay, I can tip my hat to that. I can pop my collar to that fight. All right, hats off. Round of applause, good for you. Right? Another fight that I enjoyed was J.J. Aldrich against, who in the world she fight? How did I forget who she's fought? Montana De La Rosa. Now, I thought Montana looked good in that first round. I know I'm not the only person who saw that. Okay? Montana in that first round looked like she was starting to come out of her shell and level up. For a minute in that first round, Montana was getting busy. But then she sort of fizzled out and allowed JJ to outpoint her. And JJ is not that ferocious of a fighter, JJ Aldrich. So you go in there and you get pieced up by JJ Aldrich, it's a good chance you'll get cut. Really, that's my opinion. We'll see what happens. I know they like Montana De La Rosa. It seems like the UFC likes Montana De La Rosa. Okay, is it the Gina Bishop fight? Okay. Yeah, because I was really looking forward to that fight. And I'm going to keep up with them. Let me see here. Yeah. Let me see here. I know some people probably thought that I've been fading away or backing away from WMMA. Not at all. Not at all. Don't be silly. This fight right here was kind of disappointing. Vanessa Demopoulos, Kanako Murata. It wasn't too bad. I personally enjoyed it. I wasn't disappointed watching it. I was in the fight. I was into it. I thought they had good tenacity, had good energy. They kept busy. They wasn't in there staring at each other. But I was rooting for Kanako Murata. But I don't like Vanessa Demopoulos. She's the perfect heel. She's the perfect fighter to dislike. So if it makes sense, I like her because I enjoy disliking her. Does that make sense? And I'm being genuine. I'm being honest when I say that. I like her because I enjoy rooting against her. Boy, when she has her bucket head in that cage fighting, I am rooting for her opponent. I don't care who it is, this girl. And why do I dislike Vanessa Demopoulos? Because she always getting gift decisions for stinking performances. That's why. She'll get gift after gift. She probably has surpassed Macy Barber at this point. Getting gift decisions. All that jumping into the arms of the interviewer. I believe she jumped into Daniel Cormier's arm last night. Has earned her some type of brownie points with the UFC, I suspect. And now this really does mark her third gift, in my opinion. Her third gift decision. But that was bad. I thought that was a bad look because Kanako spent too much time in control and on top. Yes, she wasn't able to stop her. I was getting frustrated at Kanako's inability to end the fight. But she was working. I thought the amount of work, her ground and pound is horrible. Let's talk about it. Kanako Murata has horrible, horrible ground game. Fighters like Kanako Murata really shows how dangerous and deadly fighters like Tatiana Suarez is. There's no way you're going to spend that much time on the ground on your back against Tatiana Suarez and make it to no decision. I mean, your wrestling skills would really have to be off the map. And I don't see anybody really in the UFC who would survive. I don't even trust Weili Zhang on the ground for that long with Tatiana Suarez or anybody else. I know Demopoulos has some ground skill, but Kanako wasn't even coming close to doing nothing. Even her ground and pound was worthless. And what was with that two-handed ground and pound hammer fist by Kanako? I don't know. But I got that one wrong too. I picked Kanako. I honestly thought Kanako would win the fight, and I thought she did win the fight. But the bucket forehead Vanessa Demopoulos, the villain, got yet another gift decision. Oh well. I thought Karolina Kowalkiewicz against Diana Belbita was a classic. Yes, I thought it was a classic. I'll get back to that. This pathetic fight, Ilima-Lei Macfarlane has disgraced WMMA, and so has Liz Carmouche. This was an utter disgrace. An utter disgrace of a fight. It felt like friends fighting. You in there kicking each other's legs. And let me tell you, as I watched this fight, I was busy. I myself was busy. So I didn't even watch everything. I wasn't able to watch it fully, start to finish, live. But because I was busy, I listened to commentary. And I was listening to combo commentary. And he was talking, and I knew that everything he was saying was right. And he was talking about how there were no headshots, leg kick. They went in there and they fought like friends. And when I went and watched the fight, I saw exactly what I thought I would see. A friendly looking fight, going there kicking each other's legs, and that fake ending from Elimole. Oh man, what a disgrace. I knew it was a bad idea to have them fight to match them up anyways. You can't trust them talking this, yeah, we're going to fight, we're going to go at it. You know, they've been spent, I don't know how much time in each other's homes, spent the night with each, man, stop, man. Okay, so that's just the type of fight you would expect to see from an organization that's about to be sold, where everybody talking about they about to be bought out. It's for stuff like that, man. Oh, here's where Sarah got decimated. You know what the thing is about Sarah McMahon? Sarah McMahon is ferocious until she's compromised. Like right here. Why didn't she try to get up? Why not roll over and kick off? Why not roll over on your back, Sarah? You top level wrestler. Why not roll over and kick this girl or do something? It looked like Sarah just accepted that position to me. Sarah McMahon is fierce until she's compromised. As soon as she's compromised and things not going her way, the fight is over. She's very easy to stop because at a certain point, when she's not having her way, she just gives up. Like here, it's like she wasn't even trying to get up. The referee was giving her a chance to get up. That's why he was waiting so long. But Sarah didn't have it in her. That's what it looked like to me, man. That's what it looked like. Now, I'm not trying to take credit away from Leah. But, man, it didn't look like any real effort was coming from Sarah McMahon once she was compromised, once she was on the mat. Now, up until that point, I thought Sarah was putting in some good work. She looked strong. She was, doing her thing. But, yeah. And it's probably downhill from here, man. You getting pounded out and beaten up like that by Leah, you're probably not going to get that belt. She probably jinxed herself. You saw her before the fight talking about fighting Cyborg for the belt. So she probably jinxed herself with that. But we'll see. Maybe she can bounce back. Oh yeah. Tatiana Suarez against Mackenzie. Yeah, that would be crazy, actually. That would be crazy. Because Mackenzie Dern is at her best on the ground. And that's where... But Suarez is different, man. She got serious ground and pound. Serious, dangerous ground and pound, Tatiana Suarez. And she know how to get in those positions, to free up her arms, get in dominant position to end the fight, or to just submit you, right, to get you out of there. Kanako Murata is horrible, man. She wasn't even coming close to ending that fight. Okay, and Chris Cyborg went in here, and it looked like a ragdoll, like Kat Zingano. Looked like she was 2 weight classes down. Like nothing, nothing that she did or tried to do worked. Nothing worked. She couldn't even budge Chris Cyborg. In this fight, it looked like Chris Cyborg was made of stone. Look at their legs right here. Kat Zingano is going to throw a kick, and then she's going to try to trip. She tried to trip Chris. Kat is going to try to whip her leg around to try to trip Chris. But watch. Look at how strong Chris' legs. Her legs don't even budge. Look at the legs. You see that? Okay, it's Chris's left leg and Kat Zingano's right leg. Look at it again. Chris's leg just doesn't even budge. She didn't. Her leg did not concede even a little bit to that attempt to trip. She just powered right through Kat Zingano like she was nothing. And look at the kick that was blocked. It didn't bother Chris at all. Look at Chris's face after she blocks the kick. It didn't bother her at all. She basically still smiling at her. And she was well prepared for Kat Zingano. Now, I've heard people talking about this. This has always been a weakness with Kat Zingano, the way she dips her face down when she goes for takedowns. Leaves herself wide open to be punched as she's coming in. And Chris punched her like 3 times as she was coming in. She punched her right there. Kat does this all the time. And Chris had a simple plan. Just punch her in the face and she does that. And she had already done it multiple times to Kat Zingano. But Kat Zingano looked bad. And I've been pointing this out for a while, too. The way Kat Zingano, when she's fighting, her head will start bobbling like a bobblehead. It's going to do it here. Right there. That's troubling, man. Because, is that like neurological damage or what's going on with that? Like sometimes she look like discombobulated. She'll be moving around and it's like she confused. And her head is bobbling. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder, is it damage? Is it time to hang him up? A lot of people saying Kat should hang him up. I think that she should hang him up too. She been around for a long time. She's one of those older fighters. You notice she's one of those Amanda Nunes generation type fighters. And look at Amanda Nunes. She's retired. So time to hang him up. Chris, been around for a while, but she got crazy genetics. I mean, Chris, what you're looking at with Chris Cyborg, people, that's not steroids. I know she was, had her case, she was busted and whatever. But the dominance you're looking at from Chris is not the result of steroids. That woman is just genetically a freak. Chris is a genetic freak because all these chicks on steroids. Even the girls who don't know they're on steroids got steroids floating through their system. Because now they pretty much put steroids in everything. All your little protein powder drinks and all that kind of stuff. They slip it in all these supplements, man. You got some type of steroid floating through your system. This is not the result of steroids. Chris is just a genetic freak. And how old is she? She creeping up on 40. Don't look like she's slowing down at all. Looks like she's getting stronger. Just not bothered by nothing the Kat did. Just went in there and beat her up like she was, had a gripe against her or something. That was terrible. That was a bad beating. And she pounded her out. She got her out of there. So yeah, that was kind of rough seeing Kat taken out like that. All right, so, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Leah's still a big fighter. She's still a big girl, and, I'll watch. See what Chris does with her. Irina Alekseeva, who calls herself the Russian Ronda Rousey, is going to fight Melissa Dixon. I think Alekseeva needs a new nickname. You should never ride anybody's coattail like that. Not that tightly. Tanara Lisboa is about to fight Raviana Oliveira. Now, who is this woman? Now, I think, is this the woman I was talking about? No, this is not her. But let's check her out real quick. What she's doing. What's she doing? She is Brazilian. Okay, so she probably got a lot of power. All right. This is who I was talking about. This girl right here. Look, hey. Y'all see that, right? We have another one. This is another fighter who stopped everybody she beat. If she wins by stoppage. Okay? She's never won by decision. Now, she hasn't had that many fights. She only got 7 victories, 1 loss, 1 draw. Not that much experience, and it's all outside the UFC. Fine, I get it. That's why all I'm going to do is watch. All I want to do is watch. But this is a big fight. And this is the fight that I was talking about. 2 unranked fighters. Okay, Tanara Lisboa, to me, got potential. But, man, this is at flyweight. So, Tanara Lisboa is about to leave bantamweight. That's too bad. But Lisboa, look at her record. Everybody she's defeated, she stopped them as well. So we got another one of those types of fights. Okay, I said a few good things about Tanara Lisboa. I think it went over some people's head. I think people thought I was a little overexcited about her victory over Jessica Rose Clark. But no, that wasn't the case at all. It's going by her record. You know, everybody that Lisboa has defeated, she stopped them. She has TKOs and she has submissions. So she could, TKO you or submit you. And Ravina Oliveira, the same thing. Most of them TKOs and KOs though. But this girl got KOs on her. So she got serious power. And look at what rounds she's ended these fights. All right, so be on the lookout for this woman and don't miss this fight. It's at flyweight, so 2 more potential fighters at the hottest division. You see what division Lisboa going to. She said, forget about bantamweight. She's going to flyweight. That's the hottest division. And it just got hotter. Ain't this crazy? We just had the entry of Natalia Silva and Karine Silva, 2 undefeated fighters stopping everybody. Now, Natalia wasn't stopping everybody. She was getting a lot of stoppages. And here you got the entry of 2 more flyweights who, stopped everybody they defeated. You don't have that many losses. She only has 1 loss, and Lisboa only got 2 losses. So if you ask me, that's an entry of 2 quality fighters, right? That's the fight that I was talking about. Don't miss that fight and keep an eye on these 2. And that's another thing. Tanara Lisboa got a stoppage at bantamweight. Now she's going to flyweight. Is she more powerful at flyweight? Is she more likely to stop you at flyweight? We'll see. But that's a fire matchup. The flyweight division is where it's at. That's the best division, hands down. Alexieva, she flyweight too, right? But she goofy, man. I'm rooting against Alexieva too. She's another chick I like to dislike. I'm going to always root against her. Emily Ducote against Ashley Yoder, I like it, yeah. But it's not quite on the level as the others for me. But I'm going to definitely watch it. See if, Emily Ducote can step her game up. She got good fundamentals. Better fundamentals than the Ashley Yoder. But I don't think she hasn't put it all together, Emily Ducote, and she don't have the tenacity. I don't think. I think Angela Hill, the fighter who really put a bad whooping on her. beat her on tenacity for the most part. She's just more tenacious. So Dakota got to work on that. And you got Jennifer Maia about to fight Viviane Araújo. That's a pretty good matchup. I'm going to take Jennifer Maia. Viviane Araújo, she does a lot of things that upsets me. Like, she can win. She could win, but I'm going to take Jennifer Maia in that fight. Okay. So, yeah, that's not bad. Not a bad lineup. But I thought it was, overall, I was satisfied. I was satisfied with the fight. The only real disappointing fight was that Carmouche. That was such an embarrassment. I believe they should both come out with an apology. Limale and Liz Carmouche. You know, why wasn't you punching Limale in her mouth? Why didn't you throw any headshots? Why were you only throwing kicks? Had a little friendly fight. A little buddy fight. Nobody gonna pay money to see that. Did y'all see how the audience reacted when that fight ended? That was the worst part about it, because you could tell that the audience knew it was a farce. When the paying audience sitting there watching a fight believe they're watching a farce of a fight, that's bad. That is as bad as it gets. Okay, so shame on them. Shame on them. Look at this. Look at this nonsense. That wasn't no punch. What is these punches? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Is pathetic. That is disgraceful. That is absolutely disgraceful. And what happened? What happened? Okay, let's look. Let's see if we can see what happened here. She kept... Stop. Stop. Oh, stop. Wow. Okay, y'all lucky that the other girls sort of outshined, sort of overshadowed y'all. Yeah, y'all lucky they did a good job, because this is pathetic, man. Liz didn't even really have much torque in that. Look at that. Stop it. Stop. So I don't want to see Alimale fight again. I don't know about nobody else. And you saw she missed weight for a title fight. Horrible, horrible stuff. Yeah, Russian Ronda Rousey against Cachoeira. Yeah, I watched that fight. Most definitely. I watched that. Salute. Yeah. Yeah, man. So, given to her for the... Oh, okay. You got Tanara. These fighters and time again. Yeah. Yeah, Tanara I think, is the truth. She got pretty good skills. Like, if you watch her, she got pretty good striking skills. I can see why she was successful as a striker. I think, yeah, she was a Muay Thai fighter, if I'm not mistaken. So was Belbita. Yeah, she was the skill set wasn't the best, but I thought that was a classic fight between Belbita and Carolina. They was letting it go, man. You saw Carolina with those uppercuts. Little funny looking arm. Carolina throwing those funny looking uppercuts. She was throwing uppercut combinations with the same hand. Oh God. Yeah, a lot of guys they was cutting. They had a lot of jokes about the female fights. Yeah, whatever. I admit that a lot of times, I am laughing during the fight. A lot of times. Oh, yeah. Karine Silva. I just don't want Karine Silva to be matched up against Natalia Silva. And to be honest, any of the, just avoid Natalia Silva. I feel like they're They're already ranked, right? So just don't bother them. Right? Let me actually pull this up here. Let me pull this up, because I haven't even checked them out yet in a while. Let me go here. But you gotta fight up whatever happens, though, most definitely. That's weird. That is weird. Still no champion at bantamweight. Casey O'Neill, I'd be okay with that, but she'll destroy Casey O'Neill, man. Tracy Cortez. Viviani has a fight. I think Karine Silva should get a high-ranked fighter because of how she's looking right now, man. Like, she's forcing her opponents to take hiatuses. You know, to go. She's sending her opponents through rehab. Yeah, she's stopping them in the first round and sending them through rehab. That's serious. And it's not whether you win or lose, how you win, how you lose. That's a good question, though. Amanda Ribas. I think that would be a good fight for Karine. I think she'd kill Amanda Ribas. But I think that'd be a pretty good fight for Karine Silva. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see what happened with Karine Silva and Natalia Silva. They could get their momentum blunted, you know. I'm just real interested to see if it's going to happen or not. Is somebody going to tame these two? And if so, who is it going to be? Natalia seems like a fighter that most girls wouldn't want to fight. You know, they don't want to deal with that rat-a-tat-tat moving and little strong chick. You know, it's going to take a lot to deal with her. Macy Barber, yeah, we'll see. But that's a hot division, man. And two more fighters to enter the division, like the two that are about to enter, Lisboa and the Brazilian girl, that is crazy to me. Ravina. What's her nickname? Ravina. What is that? Canaudi? I don't know what that is. Something Brazilian. All right. Shout out to Lisboa, about to move down to 125. And that wraps up tonight's segment and coverage of WMMA. Right. I'm still keeping up with the sport. Big shout out to everybody. And I will see you all on the next live stream.